Greetings, this is Fowlinheart, and welcome to Lo-Fi Spirit Sessions. This is one of my top 5 games from last year, and we very recently had an expansion pack that added a kitchen. Not too overly priced as well. I think it was about £6-7. Pretty good. I am so used to game companies just taking the absolute piss, so this is nice to see. So here's my humble abode, and let's go over to the kitchen as well. I'll show you a quick look at the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. It's a really nice addition. As you can tell, I like the color green. I also like just plant life fucking everywhere. So yeah, this is my humble abode. This is the new area that they've added. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through every single spirit in the game, as well as go through every single activity, because as you can see from my boy Arachnid here, certain spirits will have certain unique interactions depending on what you're doing. Not all spirits have this. Arachnid's actually kind of special. He has more than a lot of others, which is great because he's my favorite. But we're going to go through every single spirit here in the spirit decks, as well as the ones in the new expansion. So, if you don't want spoilers, why are you on this video? So let's start off with Lenny. So here's the adorable little kitty. This is the poster child of the game, the main mascot. And as such, he does actually have a few unique interactions, more so than most. I have not seen all of these. As I've said, I've gravitated towards Arachnid, and that's kind of it. So I've not seen all of these. So these are going to be brand new to me as well. So let's go. Let's go through every single interactivity, starting off by the fireplace. He's sleeping while you're typing. Sleeping while you're writing. He's joining you with a book this time around while you're just sipping a cup of coffee or whatever it is you're drinking. He's playing with a bowl of yarn, of course. It would be a travesty if they didn't give him that. For gaming, he's trying to figure it out. He doesn't quite know what the hell he's doing, but there we are. There's some unique interactions for him right there. For the desk, writing. Let's get rid of this activity thing. He's just having a kip while you're writing. While you're typing, same thing. Gaming, he's got that gaming animation up again. And for drawing, he's kipping again. He's a cat. He sleeps a lot. When you're on your bed, kipping. Reading, he's also reading with you. So he's not going to read with you when you're sat in the chair, but when you're sat in bed, he'll open a book. Gaming, same little animation here. That one is actually framed quite nicely. And then he's sleeping while you're browsing the internet. By the window, sleeping while you're typing. Reading while you're reading. He's meditating with you. I wonder if he opens his eyes at any point. He seems like the type to just open his eye and look over to you. Breathe out. Breathe in. Yeah. Looking out the window, he's having a kip. And knitting, he's playing with the ball of yarn. And finally, the new addition, the kitchen. I would not recommend having your cat on your kitchen table, especially while you're preparing food. But yeah, he's probably reading a cookbook here to help you out. Not much you're going to be able to do with carrots and cucumber except hummus. I actually eat this on a nearly daily basis. Bell pepper as well, because I fucking love hummus. Hummus is like one of the core parts of my daily food. He's also reading a book while you're whisking. If you're eating, he's also reading a book. That's the entire thing he seems to be doing in the kitchen. While you're cooking, he is... Oh! Unique animation. He's stirring the pot. Boil and boil. Toil and trouble, or whatever the fuck it is. Dishwashing. He's cleaning himself. That's a nice little unique animation. Simmering. He's joining you simmering. Better watch his tail, or it doesn't get it's a bit too close to the fire. Typing. He's reading. And reading. He's reading. So he's got some unique animations, a decent amount of personality. You can tell he's one of the more intelligent of the spirits. I believe he's the only one that can canonically talk or something like that. I'm not quite sure. I've not looked into the lore too much. Like, there is a spirit book where you can, like, you know, read a little bit about them. And I have read every one, but for the life of me, I can't remember all of them. Next, we got Dust Bunny. And as part of the kitchen expansion, you can also turn him into these little cute rice bowl motherfuckers. They're adorable. I don't know whether there are any unique animations between the two of them. So I'm actually going to go through everything with one of the basic Dust Bunnies. And if there's nothing unique, then I'll just edit out going through one of these and we'll continue. So then you know from there. So yeah, let's choose Dust Bunny and go for every activity. Typing by the fireplace, he's just kind of sitting there. When you're writing, he's just sitting there. When you're sipping a tea, oh, he's dipping something in the tea there by the looks of it. Oh, he's having a good time right there. Knitting, he's just sitting there. And gaming, he's playing along. That's cute. I like Dust Bunny. Dust Bunny is a favorite for one, I'd be able to tell from the forums. When you're writing, he's just sitting there. Typing, sitting there. Gaming, he's joining you with that little animation. And drawing, he's just sitting there. On the bed, if you're relaxing, he's having a little kip with you. Reading, he's reading the book. Look at the size of the book compared to him. That's so cute. Gaming, he's joining you. One of the cuter gaming animations. I love this guy. Browsing, he's just sitting there, but they've done it in a way where it almost looks like he's looking what you're looking at on the screen, which is really nice because they don't always do that. Some of them just kind of stare off into the distance, head empty. But this one looks like he's actually looking into the laptop, which is kind of cute. The wind is still. He's just sitting there while you're typing. He's reading along with you. Meditating. He is meditating along with you. I hope that's consistent. Looking out the window, he's having a bit of a sleep. And for knitting, he's just sitting there, just in a different position this time. Alright, new content, the kitchen. He's reading a very colourful book while you're chopping. He's whisking along with you while you're whisking, which is quite cute. When you're eating, you having that little dippy sippy kind of thing going on there, which is nice. If you're cooking, he's reading. If you're washing your dishes, he's cleaning his little button. And if you're simmering, he's reading a book. Typing, having a little dippy sippy. And then reading, he's reading. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to check the alternative version. And if this little guy doesn't have unique animations, then we're going to skip right over to the next one. So I'm just going to skip through this. Yeah, the animations are exactly the same. I don't recommend washing your cucumber, though. That's a bit weird. Moving on. Next, we've got Shadow the Hedgehog here. Log Hog. He's like a log, but on fire. That's his whole shtick. He looks like a Beanie Baby. Which is probably why I kind of like him, because he reminds me of the Beanie Baby craze from when I was a kid. Some of the colours are really nice as well. I really like this Synthwave one, but we're going to go for Shadow of the Hedgehog for this time. But there is Sonic if you're more of a Sonic guy. So, let's go. While you're typing, he's having a kip. Writing, having a kip. Sipping. Ah, he's actually reading while you're sipping. When you're knitting, he's having a kip. When you're gaming, oh, he's got a little, like a Game Boy. Instead of a Game Boy Advance, like most of them, unlike what you have up there, he's actually got a Game Boy. He's old school. I like it. On the desk, he's having a kip. Typing, having a kip. Gaming, he's got his little Game Boy out. He seems really intense in that as well. Look at his eyes. He's fighting a hard challenge there. Going up against one of the harder gym leaders in Pokemon, I would imagine. Alright, drawing, he's having a kip. Relaxing on the bed, doesn't seem very safe to me, but he's having a kip. He's reading while you're reading. Gaming while you're gaming. That's a really nice angle. I like that one. And, oh, he's doing the same thing. He opens up his eyes again, maybe? Did they all do that? Or is that just a transition? No, that might have just been a weird transition bug there. Yeah, he's having a kip when you're on the laptop. By the window, he's sleeping. Reading, he's reading. Meditating. I don't think he's meditating here. I think he's just sleeping. Looking out the window, he's sleeping. Yep. Knitting, he's sleeping. Unfortunately, this guy mostly just sleeps. Hopefully there's some new stuff for him in the kitchen. While you're chopping, he's reading. While you're whisking, he's reading. While you're eating, he's reading. While you're cooking. Oh, okay, that's nice and unique. Now, you would imagine the Fire Hedgehog would have some unique animations in the kitchen, and that's really bloody adorable. He's got this little the spatula here helping you out. That's nice, that's nice. While washing the dishes, I would imagine he would stay far away from that, but no, instead he's kipping. While simmering, he's got that unique animation again. While typing, he's reading. And while reading, he's reading. So unfortunately, mostly what this guy does is read and sleep. So I imagine he's very relatable to a lot of you out there. But he's a cute. He's like middle of the road for me. I like him. I don't find him boring or anything like that. But compared to some of the more active ones, he's a little basic. But I do like him. He's like medium high for me. Up next, we have the Fishy. This is one that I find a little boring, unfortunately. It does have some good skins, though. However, the kitchen introduces the sushi fish, which I'm a big fan of sushi. Sushi is my favorite food. So the fact that we got like salmon, tuna, and I forget what that one is. I can't remember what that one is, but I'm pretty sure that's tuna. Mackerel, maybe? But yeah, like we've got sushi fish. So because we've established that the animations are exactly the same between the two, the unique ones and the new like variants, basically, we're gonna use the sushi one just because that's the one I like the most. All right, while you're by the fireplace, he's just kind of like floating there. While you're riding, he's floating. While you're sipping, he's floating. While you're knitting, he's floating. While you're gaming, he's floating. While you're writing, he's floating. While you're typing, he's floating. While you're gaming, he's floating. While you're drawing, he's floating. On the bed. Hey, something different. He's floating sleepily. While you're reading, he's floating. While you're gaming, he's floating. While you're browsing, he's floating. Though it does look like he's looking at the laptop, which is at least something. While you're by the window, he's floating. While you're reading, he's floating. While you're meditating, he's actually joining you. Look at that. He's doing something. Mainly floating. Good boy. While you're looking out the window, he's sleeping. While you're knitting, he's floating. Alright, kitchen. Some unique stuff, please. In the kitchen, he's floating. While you're whisking, he's floating. While you're eating, he's floating. While you're cooking, he's floating. While you're washing the dishes. Finally, something fucking different. He's having a little swimmy swim in a bowl of water, which would look better as the actual fish instead of the sushi. But this is cute. This is really, really cute. I like this a lot. If they ever give you something in which you have the ability to set up spirits that pop up depending on what activity you do, I'd probably set the fish here just because it's the only real thing he seems to have that's unique. And that is a feature I hope they add at some point in the future, where you, instead of having one spirit out as part of your outfit, you can essentially set certain spirits to different activities. So while you're doing different activities, you're just naturally going to be seeing different spirits. Or even randomize it. That would be fun. While you're simmering, he's floating. While you're typing, he's floating. And while you're reading, he's floating. Not my favorite. I love the new sushi design because I'm biased because I love sushi, evidently. But one of the more boring spirits, unfortunately. He doesn't really do much but float there. Alright, moving on up. I forget the names of most of these, but we've got this little sunbird here, which is kind of nice. That reminds me of Orville. I might be aging myself there. Orville was a puppet.
Wish I could fly way up to the sky, but how come?
You can.
How come?
We got a pink one, purple one, some really nice colors. This one reminds me of the Mothman, the obligatory rainbow one, most of which are really nice. This one's no exception. We're gonna go with Orville, I think, just because I like green and Orville just, you know, I like Orville. So this one doesn't have any variants, but I do remember this one being kind of fun. I think this was the first one I unlocked when I was playing the game naturally, initially, where I'm like, okay, this thing's really cool. So I imagine it might have some unique animations. I honestly can't remember. So by the fireplace, it's just sitting there, head empty. While you're writing, its head is empty. While you're sipping, its head is empty. While you're knitting, its head continues to be empty. While you're gaming, its head is too empty to game. By the desk, its head is empty. When you're typing, its head remains empty. Gaming, again, head still too empty. When you're drawing, the head remains empty. On the bed, relaxing, we have a unique one now. It's having a little bit of a kip. Quite cute. While you're reading, head empty. Gaming, head empty. Although it does kind of look like you're looking at it, which is nice. I do like this position. This is one of my favorites in the game because it gives you a nice look out the window, nice perspective. It's very relaxing. I do like this one in particular. While you're browsing, again, head empty. Alright, by the window. Typing, head empty. Reading, head empty. Meditation? Oh, slightly different. Slightly different. Okay, while you're looking out the window, having a kip. While you're knitting, head empty, just in a different position. Okay, kitchen. Anything new here? Head empty while chopping, head empty while whisking. While you're eating, the head remains empty. While you're cooking, head empty. While you're washing the dishes, head empty. While you're simmering, the head is empty. While you're typing, head empty, and while you're reading, head empty. I actually remember that one being far more fun. Or maybe I'm thinking about the other bird. Because this thing, the lights are on, but there's nothing going on in here.
They tease me a lot and call me a clock tonight.
This guy is a consistent favorite. I see this guy pop up all the time when people are talking about their favorites. And I've got to admit, I agree. I think this guy has one of the more obvious personalities, along with Lenny. He has one of the more obvious personalities. I really like the design. There's a lot more going on with him. And who doesn't love the classic bookworm? It's got some really nice outfits, some colors. The pink one's really, really cute. I'm a fan of the black and white one. You got your sleepy time, bedtime outfit as well. Obviously the obligatory rainbow, all of which are really cool. I'm going to go with this one because I say it's the one I like the most. I really, really like this guy. So let's go around. While you're typing, he's reading. While you're writing, he's reading. While you're sipping, he's reading. While you're knitting, he's reading. While you're gaming, he's doing a crossword. That's really neat. That's the first time I've done that one. I like that. They've given him a game to play that suits his interests and personality. That's really cool. I like that. While you're at the desk, he's reading. Typing, reading. Gaming, he's doing his crossword again. I really like that. That's so cute. Again, he's one of those spirits where you can really tell he's got intelligence. There's a lot more going on behind those eyes. While you're drawing, he's reading. On the bed, oh, he's having a kip on the book. While you're reading, he's reading. While you're gaming, he's doing his crossword. While you're browsing the internet, he's doing some more reading. Again, I love this pose. By the window. While you're typing, he's reading. While you're reading, he's reading. While you're meditating, he is focusing very, very hard on his book. Showing you more meditative practices. Very, very cute. I like how it's just floating there. While you're looking at the window, he's having a bit of a kip. While you're knitting, he's reading. Alright, kitchen. While you're chopping, he's reading. While you're whisking, he's reading. While you're eating, he's reading. While you're cooking, he's reading. Doing the dishes, also reading. Careful you don't get that book wet. While you're simmering, he's reading. While you're typing, he's reading. And while you're reading, miraculously, he is reading. Okay, so this is another one with just kind of like one animation with a few variants. However, I can see why people love him because I think you can tell there's a hell of a lot more going on with this guy than the empty head bird. You know, so yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. I really like him. There's a lot of personality in his animations. You can tell that there's more going on in his head. Moving on to what I personally consider to be the most boring one in the game, which might be sacrilege for a British person to say, but we have the teapot. Now this one does get a variant, which is like a crock pot or something with like stuff inside it. A little bit more personality based on, you know, the design. The design is a little bit more, like, it stands out a lot more. But it's still not anything, like, truly amazing. It's literally just a teapot with a face. I'm not the biggest fan. I just think the concept is inherently boring. But, yeah. So, while you're typing by the fireplace, it exists. While you're writing, it exists. While you're sipping, it exists. Which is weird. You'd think it would have a unique one for that. While you're knitting, it exists. While you're gaming, it exists. By the desk and writing, it exists. While you're typing, still existing. Gaming, existing. Drawing, it continues to exist. By the bed, it is sleeping. Okay. Reading, it exists. Gaming, it exists. Browsing, it exists. By the window, typing, it exists. Reading, it exists. Meditation, it exists. Looking out the window is having a kip, and knitting, it exists. Kitchen, it's a teapot. Give it something unique. While you're chopping, it exists. While you're whisking, it exists. While you're eating, it continues to exist. While you're cooking, it is very happy with its existence. While you're washing the dishes, it exists. While you're simmering, it is still very happy that it exists. While you're typing, it exists. And while you're reading, it exists. It might as well be a decoration. Alright, here's another fan favorite. Who the hell doesn't love a good old Tanuki? I do like the Halloween one. No variant for this one. We're gonna go with the ginger guy, and we're gonna see where it goes. Typing by the fireplace, it's eating an apple. While you're writing, it continues to eat that apple. While you're sipping a cup, it also is enjoying the fumes of its beverage. While you're knitting, oh, it's joining you in its knitting. Okay, this is much better than the last one. While you're gaming, it's gaming, and it seems really happy about it. On the desk, it's eating its apple, head empty. While you're typing, continuing to eat that apple. While you're gaming, it's real... Wait, is that different? Yeah! Oh, no, it does. It changes between the two of them. Right, okay. So it does change. Yeah, okay, it does change. That's nice, that's nice. There's some proper animations in its facial expressions as it's focusing on the game. While you're drawing, it's eating its apple. Nom nom nom. While you're on the bed, oh, that's so fucking cute, though. That head would make a good footrest. While you're reading, it's eating an apple. While you're gaming, it's gaming with you. Look how close you are there. Oh my god, this guy's very quickly become one of my favorites. While you're browsing the internet, it's eating an apple, head empty. By the window, head empty. Reading, head empty. Meditating, head empty. Looking out the window, oh, that's so cute. I love its position when it's sleeping, dude. While you're knitting, it's joining you. By the kitchen, okay. Chopping exists. Whisking exists. Eating, it's enjoying its beverage. Very good. While you're cooking, oh, it's banging on a little pot and making some music for you. While you're washing the dishes, it's got its tail halfway in the sink while it's eating its apple, head empty. While you're simmering, same thing. While you're typing, it's having its beverage. While you're reading, it's eating. That is one of the best ones. That is one of the best ones. There's a lot of personality to this guy. He's just fucking adorable and is happy to be alive. Really, really cute one. I'm a big fan of this guy. Up next, we have a doggo. You can't go wrong with a doggo. The pink one's really nice. I'm a big fan of that one. There's no rainbow, I've just noticed. That's weird. We usually have a rainbow for, like, every single one. I like the fact that there's a rainbow for every single one. There's a Halloween and Christmas skin, but there's no rainbow. That's a bit weird. We're having the brown and green one as my favorite colors. I like this dude. Let's see what the doggo do. What the dog doing? The dog's sleeping. While you're riding, sleeping, sipping. Oh, it's reading a book. It's more intelligent than I thought it was. If it's actually reading. While you're knitting, it's kipping. While you're gaming, it's kipping. While you're on your desk, kipping. While you're typing, it's kipping. While you're gaming, it's kipping. While you're drawing, it's kipping. This thing sleeps more than the cat. While you're relaxing, it's relaxing. While you're reading, it's reading. While you're gaming, it's sleeping. That's a really cute position. While you're browsing, it's sleeping. By the window, while you're typing, it's sleeping. While you're reading, it's reading. While you're meditating, it's sleeping. Maybe it's meditating, but it looks like it's sleeping to me. While you're looking out the window, it's opening its eyes for once. Very, very cute. No, it's sleeping. While you're knitting, it's sleeping. This dog sleeps more than the cat. In the kitchen, not a good idea to have your dog on the table, but it's sleeping anyway. While you're whisking, it's sleeping. While you're eating, oh, now it's interested. Yeah, it's reading, but it's awake because it might get some noms. While you're cooking, it's sleeping. While you're washing the dishes, it's sleeping. While you're simmering, it's sleeping. While you're typing, it is reading. And while you're reading, it is reading. The model's cute. You can't go wrong with a doggo, but not the best. Alright, here we have it. The man, the myth, the legend, the one I want a plushie of IRL, Arachnid. Let's fucking go. It's so cute. Then we got, I think it's Cinderweaver or Cinderweb or something like that. This is the new kitchen variant. It's a cinnamon bun, which is fucking adorable. However, I do prefer the ball of wool. The pink one is the best, in my opinion. The pink one's really, really cute. I do prefer the rainbow knitted one. However, the green knitted one's nice. The Halloween knitted one is nice, especially because the little pumpkin face at the back. I'm a big fan of that one. This is my favorite in the game. I love his animations. I love his design. I think it's the cutest one in the game. It's the one I want a plushie of more than anything else. It's my boy. Let's go. Alright, by the fireplace. It is existing. While you're writing, it is existing. While you're sipping, it is existing. While you're knitting, it is knitting. Good, because that's its whole shtick. It needs to have a unique animation there. While you're gaming, it is playing 4 Game Boys at once. It is playing every variant of Pokemon plus another. It is a champion. It doesn't need friends because it trades between itself. Look at this motherfucker go. While you're on your desk, it is writing. While you're typing, it exists. What? It is writing, it exists. You are writing. Typing, it exists. Gaming, 4 Game Boys at once. While you're drawing, it exists. By the bed, it is having a little sweep. While you're reading, it exists. While you're gaming, it is gaming. Look at this little boy go. While you're browsing, it is also browsing with you. Of course it is. You're searching the web, and it likes web. No, it exists. While you're by the window, it exists. While you're reading, it exists. While you're meditating, it exists. While you're looking out the window, it's having a cute little sleepy. While you're knitting, it's knitting. In the kitchen, while you're chopping, it's stirring a pot, looking to cause chaos. While you're whisking, it's doing the same thing. While you're eating, it exists. While you're cooking, it is stirring the pot. While you're doing the dishes, it exists. While you're simmering, it is stirring the pot. While you're typing, it exists. And while you're reading, it exists. So obviously, it is my favorite, but I'm not going to be overly biased. It is one of the more middle-of-the-road ones. It's got a few unique animations, but nothing truly spectacular that we've seen from like some of the other ones, such as the Panda, and like maybe Dust Bunny and this guy here. So there are better ones. Here's the other bird that might be the one I was excited for. This one has some nice colors. Another one that doesn't have a rainbow. We got a pink one, a nice little green one here. We got this Harlequin one, which is very nice. More of a Christmassy winter theme. Let's have the Harlequin one on. So I'm hoping this one is the bird I remember, because I do remember getting a bird pretty early on. That was a lot of fun. So hopefully it's this guy. It's based on a hummingbird by the looks of it. It exists while you're typing. It exists while you're writing. Sipping continues to exist. Knitting, existing. Gaming, existing. Desk, exists. Type, exists. Gaming, exists. Drawing, exists. Bed, relaxing. It is sweeping. Reading, it exists. Gaming, it exists. Browsing, it exists. By the window, it is... I thought it was doing something unique there, but no, it is simply existing. While you're reading, it exists. While you're meditating, slightly unique. But it feels like it's basically just existing, but they've turned the animations down. While you're looking out the window, it is sleeping. While you're knitting, it exists. Kitchen. Existing. 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 And existing. One of the most boring ones in the game. At least it looks better than the other burb, in my opinion. But, no, maybe I was just super excited to get, like, new creatures and really enjoying each one that I got, and I just remembered it better than it was. Never mind. Moving on. Alright, you've got your obligatory jelly up next one, and this one does actually have a variant. We have the fucking, what would you even call these, pancakes? Probably one of the more disgusting ones to have around, because this one would leave slime fucking everywhere and steal your paper clipper and whatnot. And then this would leave, like, disgusting sugary sweetness everywhere, much like the cinnamon roll or cinnamon bun spider. Not the biggest fan. It's fine. It's certainly more interesting than the teapot, but it's also very generic. The rainbow one is fucking beautiful. I do really like the candy cane one for Christmas. We've got yourself a strawberry as well. So this is one of the more unique designs. I actually find it really interesting how for a generic slime, it's actually got some of the more varied skins. It's actually kind of crazy what they've been able to do with this. So yeah, this one is somewhat favorite from what I can tell. People I think either really like it or just forget it exists a lot of the time, it seems. But it's got a bit of a cult following. Anyway, let's see what it does. Typing, existing. Writing, existing. Sipping, existing. Knitting, existing. Gaming, existing. By the desk. Exist, 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 exist. By the bed. It is sweeping and probably mucking the ever-living shit out of your bed. While you're reading, it exists. Existing. Existing. By the window. Existing. Existing. Meditating along with you, possibly also sleeping. Looking out the window, sleeping, knitting, existing. Alright, maybe new ones in the kitchen. Existing, 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 and existing. This thing does nothing. Next we have a bumblebee. Some of the skins on this one is really nice. We finally have a rainbow one back again. Light bulb, very nice. You know, black and white one, which I'm a fan of. The pink one's very, very cute and vibrant. The green one's gorgeous. And then we've got like a more high contrast version. All the skins of this one is really, really nice. I think we're going to go with the pink one. I like the pink one. We'll go with that one. The problem with these ones is the floating ones just tend to float and don't do much of anything else. And I've got a feeling that's what the bee is going to be, unfortunately. The floating ones do lack a lot of personality, unfortunately, because that's kind of all they do. They just float. They all float. It's sleeping but floating, which is a bit weird. I would prefer if it was rested. Well, that got a bit fuddled. Oh, it's actually reading. Okay, it's doing something a little different this time around. While you're gaming, it's floating. While you're browsing, it's floating. By the window still, floating. Reading. Meditating, floating. Sleeping, floating. Chopping up stuff, reading. The reading animation is quite cute, actually. While you're whisking, reading, eating. Existing. Washing dishes. Existing. We almost forgot about this one. Hey, okay, it's got something unique. It's got a little spoon. It's holding a little spoon. Very nice. Okay, that's kind of cute. I like that. Simmering, same thing. When you're typing. Exists and weirding. I like reading. Better than the slime. It's got some of the strongest looks and skins in the game. It's a really, really nice design. But animation-wise, like most of the floating ones, doesn't really do much. One of the more boring ones, in my opinion, the Inkwell, whatever it's called. Obligatory rainbow, obligatory pink. We've got a green one in there. We've also got the kitchen variant, which is a jar of jam, which is a little bit more interesting or a little bit less interesting, depending on what you think. You got different kinds of jam, maybe marmalade, slightly different facial expressions, or maybe the same. Nah, they're exactly the same. I thought they were different. I don't really know what they're going to do with this. I hope there's at least something with reading, but it's not the most interesting one in the world. Let's have a look at the jam. Let's go with the orange one. Alright, existing. Hey, yeah, okay, they are doing something with the book. It is supposed to be an inkwell after all, so they have to do something like that. Okay, that makes complete sense. You're writing in the journal, it's also writing. Doesn't quite work with the jam, but considering the original one is inkwell, then yeah, that works. I've got a level up. Alright. Sipping, no. Knitting, no. Gaming, no. Desk. Writing, it's writing. When you're typing, it is... Okay, existing. Gaming, existing. Drawing, existing. By the bed. Getting like freaking ink all over your bed. It's sleeping. Reading, it's reading. Gaming, it exists. Browsing, it exists. By the window, existing. Reading. Existing. Sleeping. Existing. The kitchen. Bringing in a inkwell to the kitchen's probably not the best idea unless you want to write a cookbook. Reading, reading. Existing. Reading. There's no change between those whatsoever. Doing the dishes. Existing. Existing and reading. Pretty boring. Not the most boring one, but it's pretty down there in my opinion. Or up there rather. Up next we have a ghostie. I'm a little bit middle of the road with this one. It's like they're mixing a ghost with a possessed ragdoll. Interesting design. I feel as if all the personality is up here, and that's kind of it. And then with that covering half the face, it kind of loses something in my opinion. It's okay, but it's not my favorite. I'm hoping it has some unique animations. You got the obligatory rainbow one here, which actually looks really, really nice. And then we've got the noodles, the new kitchen variant. It's a possessed box of noodles somehow. It's okay. It's okay. I don't feel too strongly about this either way. Don't love it, don't hate it. It's okay. It's existing while you're typing. Existing, 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 existing. Alright, on the desk. Existing, 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 existing. Same kind of issue with all the floating ones. It's got a unique sleeping animation, so again, but the rest of it, existing. Unfortunately, all it seems to do is sleep and exist. It's got a unique... Oh, look at that. See the way the mouth and the eye change? In this position, that actually works. You can see the eyes and the mouth actually align. In that position, the design works, but I feel like in most of the positions, the design doesn't, because you need the camera angle to be just right, and it just doesn't work that way. It works there as well, while it's sleeping. Knitting, existing. In the kitchen, existing. Existing, and existing. Yeah, like a lot of the floating ones, all it kind of does is just stay there and eventually sleep. So, not great. Now, the axolotl is one I actually really like. However, I like it because of what it is. The purple one and the like, birthday cake kind of thing design, I think's really cool. You'd think these would be connected to the kitchen, but they're not. They're just unique skins. Of course, we got the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle one, which is kind of cute as well. Yeah, I'm actually a fan of this one. I just think it's adorable. I like the concept. It's an axolotl, but it's also a waxolotl. It's a candle, mixing one of the cutest animals in the world with something I enjoy. Fucking candles. So, yeah. I think it's cute, but I don't remember it actually doing much. It just kind of sits there with its head empty. Sits there, sits there, sits there, sits there, sits there. Sits there, sits there, sits there, sits there. Sleeps with a broken down wax. Sits there, sits there, sits there. Has its... Okay, sits there, sits there. Meditates. That is really fucking cute. I like that a lot. It's a shame the rest of it doesn't have anything like that. Ooh. Sleeps. Sits there. Alright, in the kitchen. Sits there. 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 Yeah, the axolotl is one of my favorite designs, but in terms of unique animations, it has jack shit. They're very basic. It just sits there, it sleeps, and there's one unique one with the meditation, and that's it. It doesn't have a lot going for it, which is a shame because I love the design. Up next, we have a few tadpoles, and as you can see with this one, this is the unique kitchen design where you become like calamari or whatever the fuck it is. The octopus, very like Japanese looking octopus symbol things. Typically speaking, they're floating tadpoles. They're okay. I don't really think a lot of them. They're fine. We'll have the octopus as a thing, the new kitchen one. And of course, because they're the floating type, don't expect much from them. They just kind of stay there. And I'm pretty willing to bet that the only time we'll ever see anything different from them is on the bed sleeping. Yep, there we go. Oh, they're reading. Okay, that's new. Gaming, sitting there browsing. Yeah, they're reading again. That one's fun. One doing a topsy-turvy. But again, that's just a standard, you know, staying still position. That is cute. I like that. Stacking themselves up. Looking out the window, sleeping, existing. And then in the kitchen, reading, existing, existing, reading, existing, and reading. They're fine. Out of the floating ones, they have a little bit more personality going on. I don't love them. I don't hate them. They're alright. I really like. Just as somebody that likes music myself, it reminds me of Hantoro. Got some nice vibrant colors on them, but also some muted ones for people like me. You've got your obligatory pink one, you've got your obligatory rainbow one, which is really cool. I like that one a lot, especially the headphones. And you got your Halloween one. We're gonna have the blue one, I think. I like the blue one. Vibing to music. Vibing. 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 Oh, actually gaming. I wonder if he's listening to a gaming soundtrack. Very, very cute. On the desk. Vibing. Vibing. Gaming. Vibing. On the bed. Sleeping. Vibing. Gaming. Vibing. We got vibing. 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 Sleeping. And vibing. And the kitchen. We got vibing. 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 Oh, wait, no! Look at this little bastard! That's brand new. Okay, I was surprised by that one. I'm assuming simmering's the same. Yeah! The little fucker's playing a drum kit. That's adorable. I've got to see what the rainbow one looks like. Give me a second. Look at the rainbow one. Okay, it's just the rainbow one is just a little blue thing again. Let's try the Halloween one. Oh, unfortunately the drum kit doesn't change with the skin. That's a shame. But still, that's really cool. It's really cool. Typing, vibing, and reading, vibing. He's got a little bit more personality than the most of them, but he still doesn't really do much. But I do like the guy. I just like the idea of a hamster that just sits there listening to music all the fucking time, like. Okay, so here we have one of my favorites, which is funny, a high praise actually, because typically speaking, I do not like monkeys, and I do not like apes. But look at that fucking controller, man. He's a freaking Game Boy controller. Or an SNES controller. I actually can't remember what that controller's from. It's an SNES, isn't it? But they're different controller combinations. They're really, really cute. You know, you got your British and American one there. You got your Rob the Robot version. You got the obligatory pink one. No rainbow one, though. And for the kitchen one, you've got a new variant in which he becomes a toaster. Not the biggest fan. It's okay. I do like how he's wearing gloves and whatnot. But I actually really like this guy. It's one of my favorites, which is weird coming from me, because I typically do not like monkeys. I just love the concept. I think the design is really unique and cool. They're onto something special here. A Game Boy, a console-shaped head with a slot at the top for the game. And then the rest of it's just a plushy body. I actually think that's really genius. And one thing I wish this had that the other one had is that little plug tail. That plug tail is genius. Admittedly, it's not the only spirit that does this. This guy has a plug tail, I think. Or is that a drink straw? I'm pretty sure he has a plug tail. Oh, it is. It's a plug, but it's like an iPhone plug. And I'm pretty sure another guy has something similar to that, but I can't quite remember. But no. He's a really cool design. I'm just hoping he has unique animations. He's a monkey. He can do more than just sit there, you know what I mean? So let's see. While you're typing, he's vibing. While you're writing, he's vibing. While you're sipping, he's also sipping. That would be really, really bad for the console innards. Look how content he looks, though. That's so good. While you're knitting, he's vibing. While you're gaming, of course he's vibing. And, like, really intense as well. On your desk and writing, he's vibing. Typing, vibing. Gaming, gaming. Drawing, vibing. When you're relaxing, he's sleeping. While you're reading, he's reading. Alright, this is reading his game strategy guide. While you're gaming, he's gaming. While you're browsing, he's browsing it with you. By the window, he's vibing. While you're reading, he's sleeping. While you're meditating, that's really cute. I like that. That's great. While you're looking at the window, he's sleeping. While you're knitting, he's vibing. And in the kitchen, while you're chopping, he's reading. Lying down reading. While you're whisking, he's reading. While you're eating, he's enjoying a nice cup of coffee with his tail. While you're cooking, he's reading. And while you're simmering, he's reading. Doing the dishes, vibing. Typing, sipping a cup of coffee or whatever he's reading. And then reading. I really like him. Is he the best? No, but I really like him. He's got at least more variants than a lot of the others. This guy is a very popular one. I see a lot of people saying that they like this guy, and you know what? So do I. Really cool. Just a big ball of fluffy, well, a big ball of love. A big toad fucking butterfly. The colors are really nice as well. We got a ladybug one right here. Really bright, almost, you know, neon color. We got the night sky here. Your classic, like, butterfly look here. You got some kind of berry here. You got the obligatory rainbow one, and you've got a Christmas-themed one as well, like a winter snow. Really, 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 really cool. I like this guy a lot. I just think the design is really cute, and would definitely make a good plushie as well. Okay, vibing while typing, vibing while writing. Sipping, he also continues to vibe. While you're knitting, he vibes. While you're gaming, he vibes. While you're writing, vibing. Typing, vibing. Gaming, vibing. Drawing, vibing. Relaxing, relaxing. He's got his little wings covering his eyes, which is a very nice, cute touch. Reading, vibing. Gaming, vibing. Browsing, vibing. By the window, he vibes. While you read, he vibes. When you meditate, he floats and meditates. Very cute. While you're looking out the window, he's sweeping. While you're knitting, he vibes. In the kitchen, while you're chopping, he vibes. While you're whisking, he vibes. While you're eating, he vibes. While you're cooking, he vibes. And if you're simmering, he continues to vibe. While you're washing the dishes, he chooses to vibe. And while you're typing, he chooses to vibe. While you're reading, of course, he vibes. He is one big vibe, and by that it means he does fucking nothing. Right, moving on. I do like him, but he does nothing. And right now we have the Halloween edition. There was an update for Halloween, and that's where we got this little cutie. And unfortunately, he is a floating one, meaning there's not much going on with him, unfortunately. We got some nice, unique little colors. The very orange Halloween look is very nice. The purple arcane look, very, very nice. You got your obligatory pink one, which is actually quite nice as well. A nice brown one that I like. No rainbow, unfortunately. Doing this is making me realize that I actually quite like pink. While you're typing, he floats. Writing floats. Sipping floats. Knitting floats. Gaming floats by the desk. Floating, floating, floating and floating by the bed. He sleeps upside down, perched to nothing. While you're reading, he reads. While you're gaming, he floats. While you're browsing, he floats. They all float! While you're by the window, he floats. So while you're reading, he reads. While you're meditating, he has a little sit down. While you're looking at the window, he hangs upside down, hanging on to God knows what. While you're knitting, he floats. In the kitchen, he's reading. Very interested in what he's reading. Like, look at that. He's mesmerized. While you're whisking, he's very, very happy, but just floats there. While you're eating, he floats. While you're cooking, he floats. Oh, no, he reads. He's still floating, but he reads. Good, good. I'm assuming he does the same if you're simmering. Yes, he does. While you're washing the dishes, he floats. While you're typing, he floats. And while you're reading, he reads. A little bit more than the average floating one, but still not a lot. Now, for Christmas, we got this little guy. During the Christmas update, we got this little, like, fennec-ish bushy fox with a taco for a head. We got the obligatory pink one, but no rainbow one. We got this really nice green one, which I'm a big fan of. We got, obviously, orange. It's a fox. And then we got another variant of orange. I really like the green ones. That's the one we're going to choose. Let's see what it does. While you're typing, it exists. While you're writing, it exists. While you're sipping, it exists. While you're knitting, it exists. And gaming, it continues to exist. Desk, existing. Existing, existing, existing. Bed, having a little bit of a kip. While you're reading, it's reading. Huh. While you're gaming, it exists. While you're browsing, it exists. By the window, existing, reading. It sits. It sits. Okay, while you're looking, it sleeps, and while you're knitting, it exists. Shopping, reading, existing, eating, existing, cooking, reading. And the same thing if you're simmering. If you're doing the dishes, he decides to exist. When you're typing, he decides to exist. And when you're reading, he, of course, is reading. Not a lot. Pretty standard. At this point, it does kind of show you that some of them are more unique than others. Lenny, Dust Bunny, this guy, Arachnid to a lesser extent. These guys have a little bit going for them. But yeah, like, most of it's pretty standard. So now we've got the new content. My favorite one from the patch is this little guy. He's a carrot knight. I think he's fucking adorable. You've also got a green carrot. You've got an onion, a red onion, which is purple. You've got this green tomato. You've got a proper tomato. And you've got this more classic... oh, no, that's not a tomato. That's a strawberry. Really, really cool. I like it. And I'm looking forward to seeing if they add any more skins to this one. Because I think this is one of the coolest in the game, design-wise. I think it's really, really cool. The problem is, it does basically nothing. I have actually looked at this one, and it does fuck all. Typing, standing. Writing, standing. Sipping, having a nice little sippy sip. Knitting, standing. Gaming, standing. You'd think it'd be into, like, RPGs or something, but no. While you're at your desk and writing, it exists. While you're typing, it stands there. While you're gaming, it stands there. While you're drawing, it continues to simply stand God. By the bed, it finally has a little bit of a rest, but then it continues to go on God. While you're gaming, it stands watch. While you're reading, it watches while standing. By the window, it stands vigil. When you're reading, it continues its watch. When you're meditating, it prays or something. At least it's doing something different. Sorry about that. While you're looking, it has a bit of a sleep. While you're knitting, it stands vigil. In the kitchen, while chopping, it stands vigil. While you're whisking, it does a little whisky whisk. It's got its own little thing, and look how chuffed it is to be doing that. While you're eating, it has a little bit of a sippy sip. While you're cooking, it stands vigil. While you're simmering, its vigil continues. Doing the dishes, it cleans its shield. Pretty good, pretty good. It's got a unique thing there. So, it's got more than average, but it still mostly just stands there. While you're typing, it has a sippy sip, and while you're reading, it stands watch. It's got more than average, but I think the biggest issue with it, in my opinion, is it just kind of stands there. I'd like it to do something beyond just standing there, you know what I mean? It's like, it's waiting for something to happen most of the time, but something never will happen because this is a relaxation game. Capybaras are incredibly popular at the moment. I'm assuming the current generation has discovered they exist, and memes have shown people that they're actually incredibly chill animals. Capybaras are just essentially big hamsters, and these days apparently everyone loves them. Which is weird because they've been in zoos for years and people have always found them boring as shit, but thanks to the internet, they finally got the recognition they deserve. And this capybara seems to just be a loaf. It's just a loaf. It has butter on its head. It likes the heat. It's got a few variants. There's the default one. You got your obligatory pink one, which looks quite tasty, actually. I want to eat that. You know, this one, again, quite nice. You got this purple one, quite nice. And this little greedy guy, which, oh my god, it looks like garlic bread. Oh my god, that looks delicious. This is the first time I'm actually properly seeing these rather than just buying them. And yeah, I like that one. That's my favorite. That's the one we're using. Alright, while you're typing, it stands vigil. Look at its face. It's so cute. Oh my god. While you're writing, stands vigil. It stands there. It stands there. It stands there. On the desk, you're going to get butter everywhere. Oh my god. Not by your computer, man. It stands there. It stands there. It stands there. It stands there. By the bed, you finally see it having a sleep, of course. That's very, very cute. While you're reading, it stands there. While you game, it stands there, but also looks at what you're doing. Cool. While you're browsing, it stands there. By the window, it watches everything you do and silently judges you. While you're reading, it continues to judge. While meditating, however, it decides to join you. It's very, very cute. Look at the little tooth. Look how cute this little bastard is. Right, okay, moving on. Looking out the window, it has a kip. While you're knitting, it stands vigil. In the kitchen and you're chopping, it decides to rest in a pot. This is just its life now. It knows it's food, it knows it's tasty, and it's okay with this. While you're whisking, it continues to be food. While you're eating, it is just glad that you're not eating it. While you're cooking, it prepares to be cooked, and while you're simmering, it prepares to be simmered. While you're doing the dishes, it's like, wait, but you haven't finished eating me yet. And while you're typing, it's bored. While you're reading, it continues to be bored. So there's a little bit going on for it, but it mostly just stands there looking judgmental. Finally, the last new kitchen. So the carrot, the capybara, and the little ducky are all exclusive to the kitchen DLC. And we've also got a few of them with, like, you know, variants, such as the inkwell and the slime, and like the teapot. So there's a few here. Ooh. So finally, the ducky. Few unique ones here. We got a blue ducky. You got Chicken Little. You got this little guy, which I just think is so cute. You got your, you know, classic rain sweater, obligatory pink one, and you got this more edgy looking guy. I'm going to go with this little guy because I think he looks very, very cute. At a fireplace, it stands. While you write, it writes with you. That's very nice. Something unique. While you're sipping, it stands. While you're knitting, it stands. While you're gaming, it stands. On the desk, writing along with you. Very neat. Typing, standing. Gaming, standing. Drawing, standing. Boob to the bed. And relaxing. Quite cute. While you're reading, it reads. While you're gaming, it stands. And while you're browsing, it continues to stand. By the window. When you're typing, it's standing. While you're reading, it's reading. And while you're meditating, it stands there. Menacingly. While you're looking at the window, it has a kip. And while you're knitting, it stands there. In the kitchen. While you're reading, while you're chopping, it reads. While you're whisking, it reads. While you eat, it stands. While you're cooking, it gets ready because it's really, really, really hungry and wants some noms. And if you're simmering, it's got the same idea. If you're doing the dishes, well, this is when it's in its element. It loves clean things. It's a big fan of things being clean. It loves soap and just cleaniness. This is your dishwashing pal. There's a hint on how you unlock him. Look at how happy he is to have things clean. When you're typing, he's standing, and when you're reading, he's reading. So, that is every single one of them so far. I'm willing to bet the team will add more to this in future. I think the expansion is worth like the £6 or £7 because not only have you got these, but you've got a plethora of clothing options such as chef's hats. We've also got the ability to color a lot of these things now, which is something people have been asking for, which is also part of the survey. Apparently there are some of these I haven't bought yet, so let's buy these right now. Don't ask about how much of this shit I've got. I've got that completely legitimately. Totally legit. But yeah, you can actually customize colors of a few of these things now, which is really, really, really nice. Now, where's my turtleneck? Here we go. Which is kind of nice. So you got new clothing options. Obviously, you've got the kitchen. You got a bunch of things to put up in the kitchen, which is it's just really, really nice. It looks really nice. This is up my alley in a nutshell. It's like nice little modern-ish, but also classic-ish cabin-looking thing with like plant life everywhere. I love it. Absolutely fucking love it. Of course, you've got your coffee machine over there. Can you tell my favorite colors are green and brown? But as for the spirits, what would I put on top? Well, I think objectively, this guy is one of the best. Lemmy's one of the best. But in my personal opinion, this guy's my favorite. I love Arachnid. I love him a lot. Yo, he knows I love him. This guy I really like as well. I think this is one of the best ones. It's got a lot of personality. There's a lot of different animations. It's got some really nice skins. You've got your Kerber looking thing going here. You got your Snowbur. You got more like, you know, pastel one. You got your basic. You got a more dark, gothy one. More vibrant ginger one. And, you know, like your classic Trash Panda right here. You know, I love the design of this thing, but in practice it's not very good. Again, same with this. I love the design of it, but in practice it's not very good. I actually feel the same thing about the Capybara. If I had to have a top 5, obviously Arachnid's number 1. The Bookworm is number 2. The Trash Panda is number 3. The 4 and 5... probably the new one, the Carrot. And for 5, this dude. Probably my favorite ones of the bunch. The order can swap around a little bit, but my boy Arachnid is always going to be number 1. Hence why he's the only one I remember the name of. Yeah, he's so fucking cute, though. So, I'm going to end this by doing my favorite fucking thing. We're going to go to the computer. And we're going to do some gaming. Ain't that right, Arachnid? And what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add some keyboard typing. Yeah! Check us out gaming! Look at us go! Proper champions. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope I've helped you out because, unlike me, a lot of you people will probably want to play this legitimately and decide which spirit you're going to be spending your hard-earned money on unlocking the unique outfits for. That is really cool. Actually, I do like that one. Let's watch this sticky dessert get like sticky gooey fucking sugary grease all over these Game Boys. But no. Spirit City Lo-Fi Sessions is really, really cool. The team made a survey last year, which was this big, extensive survey asking people what they want. And you can already see some of that survey being adhered to in this, where we're having more options in terms of what we can customize and the color we can customize, and so on and so forth. They're not being fucking ridiculous with the cost of the DLC. The cost is perfectly reasonable for what you get, in my opinion anyway. And yeah, like, they're giving us more than advertised, so we really did just advertise these. So we knew we were getting 2 unique spirits, and then there was one that kept hidden, and then there's a plethora of extra forms for what they already had, which wouldn't have cost, obviously, as much and wouldn't have taken as much time as making brand new models. So I think they've handled this quite well by they've giving us brand new creatures as well as giving us variants of the creatures we've already got, which require those creatures in order to unlock them. I think this is cool, and obviously there's space here for further chapters to add along time as it goes on. I would love a garden, personally. A garden would be my number 1. But I think for a house, yeah, the kitchen was the best bet. Also a bathroom. If we're gonna go for a house first and foremost, then let's get the main ones down. You know, you want your kitchen, you want your bathroom, you've got your bedroom here. This is like the main room. This feels like a bedroom more than anything else, like bedroom / living room. But a kitchen, a bathroom, a garden. They would be, like, garden would be my number 1. But I think the team has done a really, really good job in terms of, like, not taking the piss. Because the thing I said on the Steam forums at the time was basically, this would be a really, really easy game to exploit. You could very easily start, like, selling outfits and selling wallpaper, selling spirits, selling skins for spirits. You could very, very easily turn this into a giant platform for microtransactions, and I really, really hope they never do that. But so far, they've handled this quite well, in my opinion. It's completely fair. No animosity towards it whatsoever. And I continue to enjoy this, like, little app of ambience to have whatever environment I want. Like, if I want, like, strong wind and thunderstorms, which is something I personally find very, very, very relaxing, then I can do just that. I can just sit back, chill out, and let's get rid of this, and have some fun. I really, really enjoy this. I do use the music on occasion, but for the most part, I just have I like lo-fi, but I need to be in the mood for it. So for the most part, I just have it as a background ambience. It's nice in the morning. It's nice when I go to bed. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Lo-Fi Spirit Sessions. Hence why it was one of my top 5 last year. And I'm looking forward to what else they'll come out with, because yeah, this is really, really cool. But anyway, thank you for watching all of this. Bye for now. I bet you're glad this is not another fucking Monster Hunter ranting video. Bye for now.